Good afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd show you a few of the original components from the MG3 timing chain that I swapped over on my 64 plate. So I'll just show you a few things that came out of it. Obviously these were all replaced with new or modified or whatever you want to call them, but so we've got a few crankshaft cogs. So there's a pair of those. I don't know whether they're one is for the oil pump and one is for the crankshaft stroke camshaft, and they sit on top of each other like that on the crankshaft. But they looked in pretty good condition without too much wear, didn't look too bad. Then you've got this big camshaft variable valve modulator. Yeah, again, this one didn't look in bad condition, but I think the new chain, I mean obviously it's good practice to replace the cogs and the chain together, but the new chain is a different profile, so you have to have a different profiled, so all the gears have to be different profiled obviously. So interestingly, that's made by GKN, or it's got GK on it, and if that's GKN that I know, that's quite a quality manufacturer, so you end up replacing that. Here's another camshaft pulley, so this is the exhaust cam pulley, yet again made by GKN possibly. Not in bad condition, didn't really see any wear on that. Then you get these chain guides. There's two of these, so they go on either side of the chain, sort of like that. The chain sits in the middle, runs down the middle. These looked okay, apart from there was a tiny bit of wear on one of them, so this one seemed okay, and this is the one that the tensioner pivots on. So there's a bolt that sits there and it sort of swings at the tensioner, pushes it at the top to kind of keep the chain tensioned. So this one, which goes on the other side, just had a tiny bit of wear at the top there. You can just see that, can't you? You see that? But my car had done 56,000 miles. But there you go. This is the oil pump chain tensioner, which is again sort of just a cheap nylon plastic thing, but serves its purpose well. Didn't see any wear on that, but yet again with the new kit you get a different one. Some bolts and bits and pieces that came out. Crankshaft bolt, which I think is like a stretch bolt because you have to really torque that up. So that comes in the kit. This is interesting. Well, to some people. So this is the tensioner, and this is the old tensioner, and the new one is different. And this sits, if you can imagine, let me see if I can get you a shot here. So if you can imagine, that sits there, and then the tensioner kind of pushes up on that. Doesn't really make sense, but the tensioner pushes on that and pushes that in. But interestingly, obviously, the chain not jumping relies on the tension of the tensioner quite a lot, obviously along with its integrity, and if the chain's stretched then obviously that causes a bit of an issue. But compared to the new one, this has got absolutely hardly any friction at all. You can see that it doesn't really take me a lot of effort to push it down. The old one, or sorry, the new one that I installed has got so much more tension than that, and then obviously there's a little spring in there. Can you see the spring? And that slides out. So there's the tension, get a new one of those. Then we've got two chains. So the oil pump chain, which doesn't really work very hard at all, just spins the oil pump, and there's a couple of cogs for the oil pump, so that's one of the oil pump cogs that sits in there, and the other one is that one, and that sort of runs the oil pump. Yet again, didn't look like too much wear on that. They look quite good. The chain, the links didn't seem to be moving around, seemed okay. And then we get onto the good bit. So this is the main, stop wibbling the camera around, timing chain. And this has, as lots of other people have demonstrated, it has got some loose links. I'm trying to see if I can find one. It's quite difficult one-handed. but you can feel it compared to the other one. You can actually stay there. Let's see what we can do. No, I can't find them, but you can. You know, you need two hands, and but you can feel that it's. You can feel that it's. It's got movement in the links. You know, you can feel it. You can feel it. And if you hang it on the cogs, so hang on a minute. Let's get myself sorted out. Excuse me. So if you hang it on this cog, I think we've seen this before on some other. It just doesn't look that good, does it? You know, and when you consider it's like that, then it's got a bit of movement in it, then the tension is not very good. Look, can you see that? It's not great, is it? So anyway, I've changed it. It seems to be running quite well actually at the moment, so touch wood. That's another part of the tension system, the sort of guide system for the top of in between the two camshafts. Didn't have any wear on that. Then some old gaskets, another bolt. That's about it. You know, here it all is. I hope that was mildly interesting. Don't know what to do with this really. I suppose it's going to end up in the skip, but it's quite interesting to look at it to see how it's worn. Hope that was help to someone. See you soon. Bye.